There is so much going on in this country. It's actually a pandemic in this country, which needs almost, what do they call it? What happened the other time when there was a pandemic? A lockdown. I think it's almost a pandemic that we really need a lockdown of corruption. It is the common person who is the victim of corruption. And we said that corruption can only be won if all the people get involved in fighting corruption. We thank you, the press, because you have really taken our message of involving the people far and wide, and the people understand it. On the 9th of December 2022, while commemorating the International Anti-Corruption Day, we declared this year's theme of fighting corruption to be "Citizens must own the war to eliminate corruption. It is their war." I think you know that. It was widely circulated. I'm very proud that the citizens have decided to own the war. I therefore want to use this occasion to call upon all Ugandans to join the war against corruption, wherever you are. Don't accept, sorry for this word which I'm going to use, don't accept crap from public servants anymore. Ugandans are suffering to get land titles, to get IDs, to get permits of all sorts. People pay for all public services, for medicine in hospitals, for jobs when they qualify for them, for positions in school, for use of roads, for building permits. Ugandans are tired of paying for public services. So, I'm calling upon other citizens to say no to corruption, to emulate these young people, and record those vouchers for us. Institutions that are mandated to fight corruptions, we have mandates, we have instruments of authority, which the population don't have. We can investigate, we can prosecute, we can summon, we can even arrest. So when you join a war like this one, and you join us, you identify the areas of corruption, and we use our mandate to support by prosecution, interdiction, and any other sanctions within our mandates. So I want to assure you that for us who go, I want to, using the example of what happened in Entebbe Airport, top government officials who go through the VIP channels never know what is happening there. Because when you go there, you go through the VIP. When you go to the hospital or to any public institution, they receive you as a VIP, they pamper you, you get what you want, so you never get to know how the ordinary person is suffering, because government officials get the VIP treatment. But as I said, we have mandates to arrest, to summon, to investigate, to prosecute. So the partnership between the person will help, the ordinary citizen and us, will help us to perform our mandate by playing your part. I want to call upon citizens in this war to end corruption to expose, by reporting to us, government officials who have excessive wealth which is not commensurate with their known sources of income. That is where the proceeds of corruption go. It is manifested in excessive wealth which is not commensurate with people's known source of income. Report them to us. Take pictures of the suspect property. We shall investigate them, and if we prove that it was illicitly acquired, we shall prosecute them according to the Illicit Acquisition of Wealth Act or the Money Laundering Act. I also want to commend the Directorate of Immigration, Brigadier General Apollo Goa, who swiftly swung into action, responding to the people's cry and apprehended the culprits. If we continue with this momentum, we can redeem Uganda from corruption. As IG, we intend to work with all the affected institutions who apprehended the culprits to prosecute those who apprehended the culprits. It is not enough to sack them or to punish them, but they also need to be prosecuted. Indeed, over the last 5 years, the Inspectorate of Government has investigated 21 cases relating to Uganda Civil Aviation Authority. The Inspectorate recovered huge amounts of money from fraudulent procurement within the Civil Aviation Authority. That is an indication that there is systemic problem in the authority. We are therefore going to do a systemic intervention to establish the reason for persistent corruption in the authority. We will then make recommendations or take the necessary action within the IG mandate. It is my belief that corruption in Uganda cannot be effectively addressed without functional systems that enable the general public to be actively involved in the process of promoting good governance and taking ownership of the fight against corruption. I want to thank you to own the war against corruption. That is the only way that it can be defeated. Thank you very much. So while they are free to investigate, the IG is interested in the deeper issues, because what you saw happening in CAA is the tip of an iceberg. Under the water, under the ocean, there's a whole mass of solid ice. But what we saw is the tip of an iceberg. And as I said in my statement, for the last 5 years, the Inspectorate of Government has investigated the authority, CAA. So now, since the problem is not going away, we have decided to have a thorough investigation on the systemic issues that leads, because what happens at the end is a result of so much going on behind the table or behind the door. But I also like to take Omsenene Kajubi's question on immigration. It is the same thing, but for me, I wanted to concentrate on the power of the people when they get out. True, the problem has been going on, but it has never come out. The institutions have never come out as institutions to respond to to the public outcry the way they did. So, immigration came out, CAA came out, but for us, we are going to go deeper and investigate and prosecute, because we have the powers of prosecution, of interdiction, of summoning people. So we want to really go deep into what is going on. As for, we wanted to give it a bit of space to see how it will work out in Parliament, and then we'll take a decision ASAP. There is so much going on in this country. It's actually a pandemic in this country, which needs almost, what do they call it? What happened the other time when there was a pandemic? A pandemic? A lockdown. I think it's almost a pandemic that we really need a lockdown to deal with this pandemic. But for me, the purpose of this press conference was to applaud the people who said no and came out and call upon everybody else. We told you, I've told the public many times, don't accept crap from public servants. You pay them. You go to the Ministry of Lands. For years, you are chasing a title. It is not coming through. Come today, come tomorrow, pay money. Now you know what to do. Don't accept it. Take their picture and bring it, that person. A man on the road, he wants some money, don't give him the money. Take his picture. Because one of the real problems that we had was lack of evidence. But where there's evidence, it gives us an excellent start. And people who are even willing to give evidence in court. The problem, the biggest issue with the corruption and whistleblowers was lack of evidence that can stand up in court. But when there's evidence, like we saw, it is easy for a case to stand in court during prosecution. Yes, sir. But they give us a lead. At least we know the person to start with. We can check his bank account. We can check his record at work. At least we have someone to start with. We can check his lifestyle. We can check, you have someone. But when you say there's too much corruption at the airport, you don't even know how to start. But now that I have a picture of someone, it gives me a starting point, a good starting point.
Yeah, and when you call upon Ugandans to take pictures of people,
they're investigating people. And the information we are getting is from whistleblowers. They say, so and so, my neighbor here, the man got a job, not even a high-ranking job with government, but he has bought the whole village, he's building a mansion here, he has 3 wives, each wife with a house, and each wife with a... And we're getting it from people. And they're leading somewhere. So, yes, any kind of information is good, if only to put scare in the minds of the people, to know that people are watching and people are getting involved now. And even it's a mindset change. Previously, if you're building a house and your mother just started working 6 months ago, they think you're very smart. They start calling you Muzei. They start calling you boss because you got a job 1 year ago and you are building so many buildings. But now, we are working on a mindset change. People should ask, how are you able to do it? How are you able to do it? You're a public officer. That is the leadership code. You must be accountable to the community, not only your bosses, but to the people as well. So it's a mindset. Many things are happening. including the mindset change. Well, the problem is not only for the IGG, it's a national, even a world problem. The problem is not so much the resources as the volume of work. The volume of work. If you can bring down corruption, even the resources will come down. But as I said, we need strategies, to work on better strategies. And one of the strategies that we came up with as the Inspectorate of Government is to communicate with the people. Rather than communicating with the technocrats in conferences and conventions and whatever, we are now talking to the people to get involved. And as I said in my statement, what resources were needed at Entebbe to unearth that thing and bring it to the public, to be at the forefront of public attention. The only resources that were required was sheer willpower of the person to say no, enough is enough. It's a powerful resource, and that's why we call this press conference.